So 27 says find the slope of this curve at this point. So we know slope is very similar to derivative. So we could start off by taking the derivative, and notice how our x's and y's are kind of intermingled here. So if I can't solve this for y equals to take the derivative, this would be what we call explicit differentiation. If your x's and y's are mixed together, this is implicit. So I'm going to take the derivative with respect to x. So when I take the derivative of y, I will need a y prime. I suspect in this question 90% of the mistakes are going to happen right here. This is minus, and then we could take the derivative of this, but you guys tend to subtract the first term and not distribute it. So I think it's a good idea to go ahead and set it up the way I did here, and then you're less likely to forget that. So product rule within this says the derivative of x with y squared left alone, and then the derivative of y squared with x left alone. Need the y prime here. And again, if this is one that you had tried, I suspect that you may have said subtract on the first term, but not subtract on the second term. If this is minus all of this, it's still minus all of this when you do derivative. Putting in the parentheses before you forget is always the best idea. Now, I think I saw somebody working on this one last week, and what they did is they did some algebra work here, they solved this for y prime, and then they plugged in the numbers. And that's fine if you want to do that, but I can tell you guys most of the time it's easier if you know what x and y need to be, just plug them in as soon as you can. When most of this goes to numbers, it gets a lot easier to solve for y prime. So even though you need to be able to solve it the messier way for other questions, for this one, I just don't think it's quite as necessary. So what I mean by that is, everywhere there's a y, let's plug in a 1. And everywhere there's an x, let's plug in a 1/2. And then notice how much easier this equation is to solve now. Looks like I got 3y primes. Add this over is 2. So y prime would need to be 2/3. Okay, anything else about this one?